So not that long ago, I gave 6 scenarios in which Marvel Studios could fail. And then I thought, why not make the counter video? When will DC fail? Now, I am well aware that a lot of people think DC has already failed in their new cinematic universe with Man of Steel, but I respectfully disagree. It has its flaws, but I think it's a good movie. So I'm going to talk about 2 movies and 3 situations where DC could and potentially will crash and burn. Also, just beware, I'm not including Batman v Superman here, because, unlike a few people, I'm actually holding out hope that it'll be pretty good. Anyway, let's get to it. My first concern is Suicide Squad, and for quite a few reasons, mainly the images we've seen so far. First off, the Joker. Is Jared Leto a great choice? Yeah, but the photo that they revealed for the Joker, I am not a fan of. It's just so in your face and not remotely subtle. Does he look crazy? Yes. But it should go to the actor's portrayal to show that he's damaged, not a tattoo on his forehead. The point is, I think Leto's a good choice, but I don't like the look. Then we got our first look at the actual squad, and the looks are mixed. Deadshot looks awesome, though I still don't know about that weird cowboy hat he will also apparently be rocking. Katana looks great. Captain Boomerang, not bad. But everyone else looks really just kind of generic. I'm not a big fan of the way Killer Croc looks. He just looks like a big dude painted over. El Diablo, Slipknot, they're just there to get killed off. Rick Flag looks fine. I guess he's supposed to just look like a regular guy with a gun. And Harley Quinn, she looks interesting. I'm not gonna say her look is bad, because it isn't. I can definitely see that working. Maybe it's just because it's quite a radical departure from what I'm used to seeing, you know, the black and red, that I'm not fully on board with this version. As far as the behind the scenes crew on this, it's directed by David Ayer, and he's done some good movies, and he's done some not so good movies. Although he does seem to work really well with big ensembles. The best thing this movie has going for it is the cast. Jared Leto, Margot Robbie, Will Smith. It's quite a big shame that Tom Hardy dropped out, especially because he's been on a bit of a roll lately. So overall, this could go either way. Everyone behind the movie seems great, I'm just not digging the style so far. But who knows, maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised. My other movie concern is Wonder Woman. Hear me out. Wonder Woman is a good character. Great, especially in the New 52. But as far as the film goes, things aren't looking that great. Earlier this year, the movie lost the best thing it had going for it. Its director, Michelle MacLaren. She worked on stuff like Breaking Bad, The X-Files, Game of Thrones, The Walking Dead, and a bunch of other great stuff. And she dropped over creative differences, I think. Regardless, it was handed off to Patty Jenkins, who by no means is a bad director, but I don't think anyone will disagree that this would have been in better hands with MacLaren. It's also being written by the guy who wrote the screenplay for Ice Age 4, so that should just be noted. And also, the main lead in this movie is Gal Gadot, who is not a bad actress at all. In case you don't know, she's been one of the main characters in the Fast and Furious movies, so that isn't exactly an Oscar-filled filmography, but still, she's not bad. I just don't really see her as Wonder Woman. I just don't feel like she has the presence and, you know, the gravitas that Wonder Woman should have. But to be fair, we haven't seen her in a lot of stuff, so maybe she has some potential that we haven't seen yet. For my money, Jamie Alexander, the woman who played Sif in the Thor movies, she would have been a much better choice, but maybe that's because she plays a kind of Wonder Woman-like character. My next point is casting. The casting in the DC universe has been pretty hit or miss so far, in my opinion. Pretty much everyone is either great or eh. As far as the great, Henry Cavill as Superman, Jeremy Irons as Alfred, The Rock as Black Adam, and Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Those are great decisions. Then you've got Ben Affleck as Batman, who I've actually come around on quite a bit, but I still don't really see it. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, which I just went over. Ezra Miller as The Flash, why don't they just get Grant Gustin? And the one that I personally like the least, Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg is an amazing actor, Oscar nominated, but he isn't Lex Luthor. I'll give the guy a shot, but one picture of a bald Mark Zuckerberg isn't gonna change my opinion. I'm pretty sure I've said this in another video, but Bryan Cranston, who was rumored for a while, would have been the perfect pick for Lex Luthor. But instead of getting Heisenberg, they got Eisenberg. To wrap this up, the casting for this new universe has been strange to say the least, with some glimmers of fantastic choices, but those are covered up by putting pretty great actors in roles that aren't really suited for them. And my final worry is the tone. This is something that a lot of people have already complained about, so I just want to get my thoughts in. These movies are pretty dark. Sure, it works for Batman, he's a dark character, but everyone else, with the exception of possibly the Suicide Squad, are following that same gritty, dark, dour tone set by Man of Steel. It's good to see them keeping a consistent tone throughout the film so they don't end up being a mess, but a little bit more lightheartedness wouldn't hurt. Batman v Superman, as excited as I am for it, it looks almost depressing. Every single photo we've seen from the DCU of a character, again besides Suicide Squad, has been this scowl, frowny, not smiling, unhappy face. Aquaman, Batman, Superman, Lex Luthor, Wonder Woman, everyone. Patton Oswalt actually made a great point about this problem.
You can't, I'm just sick of hero. Is this my camera? I'm sick of seeing superheroes. Is this the only pose they have? And I know whenever they introduce Green Lantern, it's gonna be the ring and he's gonna be going like this. God damn it, guys.
My point is, I think DC would benefit if they used some brighter colors and a bit lighter of a tone. It doesn't have to be like Marvel, funny, exciting adventure romps, but especially when characters aren't supposed to be really sad, don't make them like that. So those are the scenarios in which DC might fail in the future. In all honesty, this all comes down to how Batman v Superman is. If it's great, then most of these concerns fade away. But if it isn't, I'll just be here saying, I told you so. Anyway, when do you think DC will falter? Do you think they already have with Man of Steel? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.